Now we continue our discussion centred around child abuse and what we can do to identify these cases. But most importantly, we need to connect with you. The number to dial to connect with us, 08391333728. But this number, please have it on speed dial. Child lines, toll-free number 08000 555 And it sounds like we've got a caller on the line right now. Anonymous, thank you so much for connecting with us. What is your question or your comment this morning?
I was remarried after separation, in which this guy caused my separation. And when I married him, before I married him, he was violent with me. But I thought that when we got married, things would change. But I had 2 little girls in my marriage, and he started to abuse them sexually and physically. I remember the recording when I first heard it was he put them over a stool, made them hold the bottom rung of the stool, and then beat them with the wet their bottoms, and then beat them with a bat, and then tell them he was going to kill me if they spoke about this. And he'd say, "Do you like it? Do you like it?"
Anonymous, are you still with this guy?
No, I've left him now, and I'm struggling to pick up the pieces of my life, because he was a very wealthy man, so I had a good life. In one sense, I was terrified of leaving it, because he said he would hunt me down and kill me if I left.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Not alone.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
not.
in your experience, you are not alone. And Dr. Eve, I'm going to hand it straight over to you.
This is, unfortunately, the trap that women find themselves in. If you ask, why do women stay? And I really hate that we do ask that question. It is such a dilemma for women who find themselves, as Anonymous has, in her own fear of not having and scarcity and not being able to earn and what she's going to do. And so she balances that out, as crazy as it may seem to all of us, against the lives and the well-being of her children and herself. She married this man with all the red flags screaming, and many women do that, thinking, I can change him, or marriage will change him. And then she has these 2 children, who we all, I think, have goose flesh just listening to this story.
I heard that if there's a little voice that tells you no, it's probably the right voice. What do you want to say to women out there who's watching the show this morning? Women and children are watching our show this morning. This is a feel-good show. What do we tell them? If there's what are the warning signs, even in her case, when you want to marry a guy, but you know that he is not right for you?
What do we do? What's that first thing you do?
If I had the answer, I would, solve the problem of this world, of this pandemic, which is in the world. I go to the UN, and we look for answers all the time. I belong to international organizations. We look for answers. I'm going to be in Parliament this week talking and looking for answers. I always say to women, get a job. Find skills. Empower yourself financially, so that you don't fall into this trap of I have to be there because of money. Having said that, even women with money get violated and keep their children in that situation as well. So it's not a protection, but at least that there is a way that I can do this for myself. I'm going to have the money, I'm going to have the skills, and get an enormous support structure. Tell somebody, and I say to mothers and to fathers, to grannies, to caregivers, listen to your children. They tell you. Pick up the signs. Don't be so busy. Don't be so caught up in your own abusive relationship, because that's what happens, that you are not able to be present and be aware of what's happening to the children in your home.
All right, we've got one more caller joining us on the line. Anonymous, very good morning to you. Your question or your comment?
Good morning. Can I speak Afrikaans, please, if it's possible?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. Man, die naweek het my kleinseun vir my kom kuier. Die mense by wie hy nou bly, is by sy ma, en ek sal maar sê dat sy stiefpa het nie getroud nie. Hy het sy selfoon vir charger hier vergeet. Hulle noem hom die K-woord. Hy is so dom, soos 'n dronk K-woord. Ek wil dit nie sê oor die koning.
Ja, ek hoor meneer.
Dit is nou maar die kind se stiefpa. En hulle word geruk aan sy arm op soos die heer en laat hom ronddruk. As ek praat daaroor, dan wil hulle my aanvat. Ek is 'n pensionaris. Hy spog hoe hy sy eie seun, wat nou in standaard 5 is, sy mond tik en slaan in die vuis. Ek weet nie meer nie. My kind Hy wil nie meer praat. As jy met hom mooi praat en gesels met, dan begin hy sommer maklik. Hy trek homself op 'n hoop, dan wil hy alleen speel. Hy wil nie met kinders speel nie.
Speel nie. Okay, meneer, dankie vir jou oproep. Ons waardeer dit regtig vanoggend. Eve, so we have a situation of a grandfather that's looking out for a little boy who doesn't live with him, but he feels that he's being...
The red flags are there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. You know, you've taken the trouble to phone us today and to tell us a story, and I can hear in his voice how absolutely tremulous, how angry he is.
I know.
Act on it. The child will remember, more than the abuse, the child will remember that you watched his back.
Dr. Eve, we're out of time, unfortunately, and we want to say that, I mean, you said it beautifully. Act on it. You cannot leave it lie down. You have to act on it.
Yep, that number 08000 555 555 to phone. We've got to go for a quick break. We'll see you now.